In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the sidebar tools very quickly. So this is going to be a quick overview of that section. I'm going to go ahead and log into my fictitious account. This pulls up automatically the Client Central, and I cover these widgets in another video for you. But you can see over here we have Client Central, Calendar, Collaboration, Clients, Cap Pro Labs, Utilities, and Training videos. In this section, I've done several videos on these things and features within these tabs that collapse and expand. So I'm going to go through this quickly for you so you can understand what you're dealing with. All right, Client Central is your home base for navigating notes and to-do lists, encouragement with verses, your toolkit for filling in forms from transcripts or just manually. And again, I covered that in a different video. Your calendar is pretty standard. This is where you can set an appointment, a single appointment here. I cover this in another video, but this is how you would do that here. You can add or you can delete if you have to cancel a session. If it's a recurring session, you can say this in future events, all events in the series, only this event. So if he's sick one week and wants to meet next, only this event. If he moved out of town or if he ended his counseling for some reason, then you would click either one of these two tabs. Collaboration is where you can communicate across the board with as many counselors as you want, from the feed, which covers everybody on our platform, to the messages where you can select one recipient or a couple recipients from a list of everyone, or you can build a network. So you could do that here by managing your groups, adding a group, and then adding counselors to that group. And I cover that in another video down below. Your client section is very simply how to navigate your notes. So with Joe, who's my fictitious client, I can add a new note here. I can add a link to a URL if I want him to look at some information, or upload a file if I want him to read something as well. And I can save that to the note for him for his next meeting. Client sharing, if I have a client that I need to share with somebody else because I'm tag teaming, maybe I'm dealing with multiple issues with one individual, and one counselor has a specialty in, say, eating disorders, and I don't, and I want them to meet with somebody who's maybe a registered dietitian, and there are certain notes, or all the notes, depending on the situation, that would be useful for that other counselor. I can share either a note, a particular note, or I can share the whole client folder with her or him, so that we can get the best care to the counselee. New clients can be added here. Fill out this form and it will automatically send them an email. Once that email on their end is verified, they become your client, and you can schedule them and invoice them as well. Cap Pro Labs, I'm going to collapse that. I'm going to expand Cap Pro Labs. AI Assist, again, is just a way to get easy answers to complex questions you may have regarding counseling. That comes from 700 plus documents so far that we have uploaded, that it's gaining knowledge from. Our deep dive is comparative analysis between biblical counseling and secular therapy. It shows a side-by-side comparison. It even goes into some of the analysis of an integration approach, and that's so you're aware of what's out there in the worldwide scope of counseling, so you're not caught off guard when you're counseling somebody who's probably maybe been to a secular therapist. Then you have a notebook section here, and this is a pretty big section that would take too long to navigate in this. This is just where you can create files on a particular topic or for a particular counselee, and these folders can be transferred around. You can share these folders to the counselee if it's counselee specific, or if it's just a topic, for example, anxiety. You could upload or have AI find the sources for you and create a notebook of information, and then you can ask that notebook information as well, so you can have it synthesize across different articles, questions, that it will scan all the articles, all the video, all the the audio, and it will come to generate an answer for you. There are different features on here, such as an audio overview, which basically gives you a simulated podcast between two speakers, Jeff and Leanna, and they interact regarding the information that's in your folder. So it's a neat way to listen to all the data. They break it down for you. And that, again, that's a pretty sophisticated tool that you may or may not find helpful, but it's kind of fun to play around with and useful in some cases. So you can check out those things on your own time. And if you have questions, hit that feedback button as well. The Bible reference is pretty standard. I can go to Acts, can type Acts, let's just say 4:32, and we can go there, and we can add a client. So I can put it on Joe Smith's, add to client notes, and if I need to go back to the client notes, I can hit Joe Smith. And on December 8th, Acts 4:32 shows up there, and I can edit that note here. I can add verses to it, and there's a URL link that saves it there. So I'm going to save that, close out of that. The progress tracker is really neat because you're going to be counseling over a number of sessions with one client, and so you want to see how you are doing, and every session you want to get better. So there are 15 different headings here that our software is looking for in the transcript. So if you do a transcript, it will put these bars up per meeting, so you can see the dates down here. These are all, basically fake appointments that I had with Joe Smith, because this is not a real client. In your case, your real client is going to show up, and you're going to be able to see. The neat thing about this is, under each heading, contextual understanding, it's going to give you either an alert that you're doing well, or these are things you can work on. I find these to be very helpful, and they're very insightful, and it's coming, again, right from your transcript. So it's not making up this data, it's just assessing and analyzing and synthesizing that data for you, and giving you that feedback. Counselor training is where you can configure a persona or take one of ours. These are chatbots that you can counsel for practice. This is a helpful tool. You can use a preset, you can create your new one based on demographics, personality, problems, and background. And there's a lot to this. You can set these up pretty specifically, and then you're creating a persona that you can counsel and practice with. Once that session is completed, you can get a summary of that session, and it'll analyze it as to your performance. So this is a great practice tool, and I cover that in a separate video as well. Utilities, these are where you can enable calendar sharing across different platforms that you have, like Microsoft or Google Calendar, and you can copy this and add it to their system, and then every appointment that you set in CareAssist Pro will show up on those calendars. So sometimes people use multiple calendars for whatever reason, and this is a helpful way to keep track across the board. Manage your office hours. So 7 days are listed here. You can do split times during the day. So if you want to add a split time, let's just say you work in the evenings, 7 p.m. So you'd come down here and set 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So you'd come back up here. So you have 2 hours counseling. You could add that and then save it at the bottom. You can do split times, you can subtract times, so I'm going to get rid of that, and just go 9 to 5. Save that and get out of there. Pretty straightforward. Last thing on here are the reports template. These are the reports that show up on your Client Central. Under your toolkit, these are standard reports that you can either fill in by hand, or you can have our AI Assist fill in from your transcript from a particular date. This is extremely helpful and cuts down on time. When you do use the transcripting, it gets it fairly accurate, and when I say fairly, I'm saying generally about 98% accurate. You'll read through it, you might make some minor adjustments, but for the most part, it's very good at filling out these templates, and that saves you time. And in some cases, these are reports that you can share with the client, and it just builds added value to your services for them. So I'm going to save all those, there are some templates you just won't use. You can go back and deselect those, and they won't show up in your Client Central. You can always add them back in if you want. The last thing on here is your accounts options. You can change your password or cancel your subscription. So that's that. Our training videos are there. This is the tab you're in now. Are here to help you navigate the system. We hope that these videos help. If there's a video on here, or if there isn't a video on here, I should say, that you would like to see, just request it through this feedback button. Send it to us. We'll note that and try to help you out if we can. God bless. Hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon.